All right, my name is Jacob Weirson, and we're going to be covering ITM Block 4. Let's get started. So we're going to be covering a few things from Block 4. I'm going to be talking about data models and how they're useful to information systems. We're also going to discuss databases, how they operate, and how they are also useful to those both who are using information systems as well as those who create information systems and softwares. So let's start with data modeling. So computer programmers and engineers definitely find them useful. Um, Data modeling are essentially smaller versions of and more simplified versions of software programs and other information systems that kind of outline how that software program is going to operate, how it's going to be used, and it's just a good way for engineers and computer programs to view that. But before we get into the details of that, what exactly is a model to begin with? Models are essentially simple representations of the real thing. For example, as an architect or a builder uses models of a house or a building to kind of guide their way into constructing a structure, so do engineers and computer programmers use data models of a software information system to produce their new product. They're essentially blueprints for the programmers and engineers. They're absolutely necessary and useful because engineers use them, through these simplified versions of the software. They look at the model and they say, what needs to be changed? What can be improved? What can be maintained? And they're able to kind of translate the model into the actual real thing. Again, the model is before they even start constructing the software or the computer system. So engineers and programmers look at these models and they say, what can we improve? What can we change? And what can be made better? And models provide a great way for them to do that. So after data modeling, we move into databases. They're essentially very useful to both people who use computers as well as people who create computer and information systems. And here's why. Well, the best way to think of a computer, the best way to think of a database is by thinking of it as a computerized filing system. For a filing system, there are different folders and tabs of where papers and information go. So as it is for a database. And this is what I mean by that. You can store anything on computer databases. You can store personal information. You can store business transactions. You can store whatever you can save onto a computer. You can store within a database. And a database is essentially all stored information on a computer, but organized. So it has certain files for certain versions of information. They have, certain folders for this type of information or certain folders for this type of information. And it's very useful and it's an easy way for organization, both for computer programmers and individuals who use computers. For the individuals that actually utilize computers, databases allow easy access for the computer to retrieve any saved or stored information online. So it's easy for us to open a folder where we saved our personal information or we saved our business transaction through a computer. Databases allow for that easy access. Also for the engineers and computer programmers who use information systems and softwares, databases allow for necessary information that they need to be easily accessed. And that is the beautiful part. It's a great form of organization, but it also allows for easy access. And that's essentially what it is. It's an organization for information systems. It's what databases are. There are two common types of organization of information systems that I found in my research for this presentation. Of course, there are many forms of databases, but here's two that I found were very common and very and used widely. Relational databases, which essentially are tabular coding, which is essentially a fancy word for, look, the way that this form of database is organized is there are tabs with names on them, such as content, personal information, user account, and under these tabs are certain forms of information that are saved and stored. So it's just a very organized way to organize information on a computer. The same goes for distributed databases, which are very similar to relational databases. However, these databases can be used over a variety of networks and can be used in different facets and environments. So that kind of concludes what we're covering in block 4. But no, Eric, no. Why? I was doing my project.
Let's start again.
No, I can't.
Yeah, you can.
How long is your mom? What time is she here?
Like 25 minutes.
Okay.
You recording?
Yeah.
You can't pause it and like start over again? You just start from point
I
A?
have to start from point A.
Really?
Yes.
That sucks. Why do you tell me?
Are you sleepy?
Yes, I'm very tired. That sucks. I hate fucking doing volunteering at place.
Huh?
I hate volunteering.
Did you have fun?
No, it's not.
Or not?
It's not. Oh, do you-
So your mom's not gonna be here for a while?
Yeah, do it now.
So I can do it. Really? Yes. It's useful. Data modeling are essentially prove what can we change and what can be made better, and models provide a great way for them to do that. So after your data modeling, we move into databases. They're essentially very useful to